Hello and welcome. My name is Diana and I am a tarot reader and transformational life coach here to assist you on your journey of spiritual and personal development. And today we are going to be doing another pick a card tarot reading video, and this time it will give you an insight on what do you need to know about your love interest. So if you are currently in love with somebody, or you feel attracted to somebody, or you are about to fall in love, or you are wondering what's really on their mind and should you pursue this person or should you just let them go? If that's anything about you, or maybe you are currently already in an established relationship, basically anything that you want to know about the person you're in love with, then this is the reading for you, and this is the message you need to hear. In a minute, you will be able to select your message, but before that, I would like to remind you to take a little bit of time before you do that and connect with yourself, think about your situation, connect with your heart and listen within for a moment to see what is really going on there. What are your desires and hopes and dreams and fears relative to this person and love in general, so that you get the best results out of this reading. But now, without further ado, let's take a look at the piles of cards that I've prepared for you today. So these are your options to choose from. This is pile number 1, pile number 2, pile number 3, number 4, and pile number 5. You can go ahead and pick according to the number of pile, or you can also take a look at the runes that I have placed on top of each pile. And you can also combine both methods, both the number of the pile and the runes on top of it, and see what is your message and what resonates the most with you. And then when you've done choosing your pile, take a look at the description box below for timestamps so that you are able to jump right ahead to your reading. Hello again, group number 1. So this is your reading and your message if you picked the first pile of cards. Now let's take a look at what you have going on. Okay, so you have 3 of skulls, also Prince of Knives. Okay, you have laziness, Thunderbolt. Oh, and soulmates. Always so nice to have this card in relationship readings. Okay, let me have a look at your message. I do have a feeling that you are a little bit, or maybe even a lot, confused about this person, your love interest. Because, first of all, let me talk a little bit about this soulmates card. I do have a feeling that you find this person very attractive, and you kind of have a feeling that they could be your soulmate. And that's why, and that is the reason why it is so hard for you currently, because there is all this confusion going on and you really don't know what they are thinking about you and about your possible future together, but you feel very attracted to them. And even on a soul level, there is this compatibility between you guys, and it feels just the perfect person for you, or at least that is how you feel when you listen within, when you tune into your heart and you feel that something is opening up inside in the presence of this person, that they are doing something to you that maybe even touches you very, very deeply. And that is the reason why you are wondering what's going on here. Because you have two runes. One is Yera, and this is the rune of longevity and reaping your rewards. And basically this is about those cycles that come to an end, and then you can collect your results and move on to a new cycle. So there is this longevity and predictability to this rune. But then you also have the Isa, which is the ice. And this rune usually says that things are kind of not moving anywhere. There is this feeling that things have stalled and you don't know whether they will ever move and whether there will ever be any progress. And then also your tarot cards. On one hand, you have this Three of Skulls, which is similar to the Yera energy. It's about building that long-term result, reaching towards long-term goals. And it also speaks about commitment, because whenever there is something that we are thinking about in long term, we see that in our future after some time, and we are committed to that. We don't want to leave it behind, or we don't, basically we take it very seriously. And that is that commitment and dedication that we are also looking for in our relationships. We want them to be trusted. We want to trust that that person will be with us, that they will choose us not only at this moment when we may have some fun together, but also tomorrow and the day after and a week after, and so on and so forth, so that we can invite them into our lives and plan our future with them. So there is, and by the way, the astrological sign of this card is Mars in Capricorn. So it's about this action that is directed towards building something stable and long-term. And the Soulmates card is really bringing this aspect out and making you wonder whether this is the person you can have that with. But then there is also the Laziness card. And the Laziness card reminds me of Isa, because also this glass that is right here, it looks kind of icy. So it kind of feels that this person, they are not really, they are not in a hurry, basically. That could be the shortest way to put it. They are not in a hurry relative to you, and at least that is what you perceive. That is the feeling that you have. But they are not really doing anything to help your relationship make more sense and maybe move to another level, to a more serious level. And it feels like this is all frozen. And yes, it also could be that, because this is a general reading, it could be that the roles are kind of the opposite. Then you are the one being the lazy one, the frozen one, and the other person is the one who are looking forward to this long-term future with you. But yes, it definitely could be that those roles are switched. Again, general reading. But I do believe that you could have something together, because that Soulmates card, it's just too strong, and that Soulmates energy is just too strong, and it cannot be ignored. It's not anything superficial, and you could potentially develop this deep connection that is felt at the heart level, at the soul level, and you could achieve some deep intimacy with each other. But I think that what is currently going on with you and between you guys is, it's actually pretty scary when things like that happen. When we are touched by somebody, and that somebody touches our deepest feelings, our deepest fears and hopes and desires, and we don't know what to expect. We don't want to be hurt. We don't want to be disappointed. And so we often make a decision not to do anything or to avoid, because we are afraid. or we don't want to deal with this issue because it's just too intense. It could bring up too much stuff in ourselves we just don't feel ready to deal with. And I think that is exactly what this Thunderbolt card is pointing towards, because things just break down with a thunderbolt, and there is this chaos going on, and everything, the established order is now gone, and it's no longer there, and we don't know what we can trust and what is it that's going on with us, and will we ever be able to get our life back on track again? It's a complete emotional and maybe even like material, physical chaos around us. So I think this is the fear that is holding them, or you, if you are the frozen one, back from taking more direct steps towards the progress of this relationship, because you just don't want all that, the old stuff, to fall down. But I think it's inevitable, in a sense, that irrespective of whether you get together or not, the marks left by this person and the marks left by you in this person's life, in their soul, will be just too much to not cause any effect. Because again, if we look at the glass here, it has cracks in it. So this illusion of laziness, or we can feel lazy, we have a feeling that we don't have to push anything and then go anywhere. We are good where we are, and we are in our comfort zone, enjoying ourselves. It's something that is about to end pretty soon, because that glass is going to crack. And there is something important what you need to communicate to each other on that soul level. Like, you need to teach each other a lesson. And really, there are some outdated structures, either mental or physical or emotional, that are no longer necessary in your life, in both of your lives, because you will both be affected by this. And you kind of unconsciously, you kind of pick up on that this is happening, that this person is now threatening my whole existence, basically. What I know is true about my life. And that is exactly what is causing this. Oh, I kind of want them, but then I feel attracted to them, but then I am afraid. I don't really want to go through this. So it's a process that's going on for you individually, and that you both need to go through. Again, I don't know which one is you. Either you are the one looking forward to the future, or you are the one being more laid back and like taking this more reserved stance on this. But we have one more card here, and that's the Prince of Knives, and this is the card of communication and this energy of communication. And what I like about this card this time is that the Prince of Knives is holding this white rose, and that indicates the truth and innocence and clean, pure intentions. So the truth cannot be denied. What is going on between you is going on between you, and none of you and nobody else around you can deny that. And this is exactly the approach that you need to take when you communicate to each other. You must be very honest with how you feel. You must express your fear. You must tell each other how scared you may be about this, where it will all take. And that most of all, you long to have that stability and predictability, but you don't know whether you can trust the other person. And maybe that stability is where you are currently, when you are by yourself, when you are without the other person. Maybe that is your stability, and you are confused because of that, because you don't know what is the reality for you right now and what it will be in the future. But the soulmates energy again. This is happening, this is truly happening, and if only you can get past your fear and the shock of this going on, if only you can find that trust in each other and really learn to rely on each other, then there is this beautiful connection that is potentially available to you guys. And also the longevity is there, and being together and creating real results is there as well. Okay, so this is your message. Group number 1, this is what you need to know about your love interest. I hope that you find this message helpful, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye. Hello once again, group number 2. This is your message if you picked the second pile of cards. Let's have a look at what you have going on. So, 9 of Skulls is your first card. The Star. Okay, you have also the Morality. Adventure. And finally, Flexible. Okay, let me see. Well, the overall impression about your reading is that you may be hesitant to give this person a try. Or maybe they are the ones who are hesitant to give you a try. Because there could be some conflict going on between what I believe deep down to be true and what I want to experience in my life. And let me explain what I mean by that. Well, I want to just mention that this is a general reading, so it could go both ways. You could be in either role. So while you are listening to this message, keep that in mind. And so, what I mean about having beliefs that may be in conflict with wanting to experience something. We have this morality card here. And this is those belief patterns and even moral standards that we hold, and that are something that we base our life upon. This is that standard, basically, that we judge things to be good or bad, right or wrong for ourselves. And if we happen to have a very rigid and strict set of rules that are very deeply established for ourselves and come from maybe our childhood, our upbringing, maybe that's how we are used to view life, then it's very hard for us to oppose those rules and to take any action that is not in accordance with them. And we run into trouble if we desire something else in our hearts. And you also have the Attila rune reversed. So this is about home and family and this kind of legacy, this establishment, like foundation of something. But when it's reversed, it's not really there. So I think it speaks about your relationships and that what it triggers, because it does trigger those traditions and values that you hold true, and maybe you a part of you realize that but this person comes from a completely different background. Will I ever be able to fit them with my set of values and the traditions that I've been brought up with? Well, one example could be if you are coming from different religions or from different cultures, and then it's very hard to figure out whether it will ever work, because you are so different deep down and you have those different worldviews and and belief patterns and sets of beliefs, and you are not sure whether it's worth even investing your time and energy into this relationship. That could be one way this message could play itself out. But then, on the other hand, we have the adventure card, and we have the sun rune, the soul rune, and so nevertheless there is this attraction that you feel towards each other, or yes, one of you could be feeling it more strongly than the other, but that is not the point here. The point is that there is this attraction, and it also kind of serves as an invitation to be a little bit more adventurous and maybe go into that unknown and maybe have that trust into the uncertainty of what's going on here with those rules and those beliefs and traditions and whatnot. But it's interesting, the different, those things that are different, if they don't scare us and if we are able to get past our fear, they actually become very interesting and they become a source of inspiration, and they help us widen our horizons and our understanding on different things about life and even ourselves and other people. So basically it widens our view significantly if only we say yes to the adventure, and if we just have this very open mind and this very humble attitude towards that. And the soul rune, the sun rune, it feels very good. It's like this, okay, there is this joy, this source of joy there, and I just want that, and I feel very drawn to that and attracted to that, and why not give it a try? So it's kind of cool at the end of the day. It's really nice, and the attraction is there. And then you also have the star, and this is the card of hope, of this rejuvenated trust in all the good things that could be a part of you. So there is something about this person, or there is something in you that this person perceives that is basically bringing this trust and this hope and faith in good things back in their lives, or they are the ones who are bringing this back to your life, or awakening something up within you, or again, the effect could go both ways. But nevertheless, the star is about this renewed hope that there is something very, very good that you are supposed to receive soon, and you cannot help yourself but trust that and expect that and reach for that. And you are ready to go on adventures and take and journey into the unknown, because you believe, you have this very deep belief in your heart and faith that everything will be just fine. So yes, this is the other extreme of this, and this is that push and pull that you are currently feeling relative to this potential or existing relationship, and which makes you question what the hell is going on. And now when it comes to your advice and how you should approach the situation, well, the oracle card says flexible. And this is something very different from this very rigid mindset of the morality card. Flexibility is about you being able to stretch beyond your rigid belief patterns. It's about opening up some space both within you, like physically and emotionally and mentally, so that you are able to see things from different perspectives and open up more avenues for new influences to come to you and change your perception and your perspective. So if you can imagine how your body feels when you stretch it, when you acquire poses that are not your normal, usual poses that you are used to taking and being in, you have this weird, but at the same time, this very good feeling that there is actually more that you are capable of. There are actually more opportunities for you available, and you can actually take them. And the more flexible you get, the more resilient you get, and you are kind of able to take on life's challenges in an easier way, because you are flexible and they cannot hurt you, as opposed to being very rigid and very structured, and there are no other option than either you break or something falls under this belief of yours, and then you consider it to be right for you. But your advice here, or at least the way you should be looking at this, is by being flexible and really giving this faith and hope a chance, and giving yourself a chance to experience this journey and this adventure. Or maybe, again, this is the process that the other person is going through, and that's why they may be so hesitant towards you. Maybe this is their inner battle that they need to deal with before they are ready to fully engage with you. And then you also have the Nine of Skulls, and I think this is the way you will handle things, or this is the best way you could handle things. And the astrological sign here is Venus in Virgo. So this is about taking things very carefully, so not rushing into anything, but also not losing hope that there will be some progress made. Because with this placement, with this energy, it could be that things are not really moving anywhere, and you feel kind of stuck, and you want one thing, but then you get another thing, and you don't know whether it's even worth your time. But the Nine of Skulls and the energy here is very mild, it's very gentle, but at the same time it's grounded. And this is how you approach each other, with respect. You respect where you are both currently at, and what's currently going on within you, and what are your inner challenges and struggles. And you move closer to each other step by step. You don't challenge each other. Of course, you cannot take action on behalf of the other person, but that is how you can approach this situation. Very respectfully, and be patient, but at the same time not losing hope that this is taking you somewhere and that there will be some progress made. Okay, so this is my message to you, group number 2. I hope that you found it helpful, and I'll talk to you soon in my next video. Bye-bye. Hi there again. So this is your message if you picked the third pile of cards. And let's take a look at what you have going on. And you have the Three of Knives, Eight of Scepters. You also have the Suppression, Fighting, and Breathe. Okay, let me see. So what do you need to know about your love interest? Before I go on and start to tell you about what I see here, I just want to remind you that this is a general reading, so whatever I say could be about you or the other person, so it could go both ways, and you could switch roles at any point here, since this is a general reading. But now, what is the impression that I have? I think that maybe both of you or one of you has been very hurt before in relationships. And I think that the Three of Knives is what really indicates that and what points to that. This is the heart of heartbreak, of being in pain, and having gone through disappointment, and maybe even grief, loss, and all the things that come along with that. So this is not a nice and pleasant energy to be around at all. And this is often very traumatic for us, especially if we have more than one experience like that. And what it does to us, it makes us basically, yes, indeed, it makes us suppress certain aspects of ourselves. Because what we are now focusing on is on our thoughts and fear of the possibility that we may experience that pain again. We don't want that. We want to protect ourselves. But sometimes, or even more often than sometimes, it turns out that we build a defense mechanism, and instead of protecting ourselves, we actually build this shell, this hard shell around us that prevents not only pain and the bad things from coming in and reaching us, but also the good things, the ones that we really desire to have for ourselves, and we cannot get them as well because we just don't let anything close to our hearts, to that vulnerable space within. And here we also have the fighting card, and this is that armor, and this is that attitude that we may be having because of this pain, this trauma. We are now fighting the world because we want to be stronger this time. We want to be able to protect ourselves, and we do that by being aggressive. But we feel this massive, huge resistance deep within. And underneath the resistance is fear. Fear and unhealed pain from this experience in the past. And one of you could be in this position, maybe even both of you. Maybe you are both trying to recover from a relationship or relationships that just didn't work. Maybe the other person hurt you a lot, and now you find it very hard to trust. And when somebody is approaching you, it's difficult. You don't want to let them close because you are afraid. You resist them. And maybe you are the one who are trying to approach a person, somebody who has this experience, and it's very hard for you, and you are confused, and you don't know what to expect and what you should be doing, because you don't know how to get past that barrier and how to reassure the person that you are not a threat and you have no bad intentions towards them. But also, along the same lines, it's important to point out that if you do, if you don't take this person too seriously yet, and if they are the ones struggling with this trauma, then you should be really, really careful how you treat them. And you have to always keep in mind that whenever you make them open up and let you closer to them, they are really, really sensitive and vulnerable, and they are letting you into that sensitive place. And you need to treat that with an utmost care and appreciation. You really need to treat that person with the greatest respect you can have, because they are already hurt. And if you hurt them as well, it will be like you will add to their suffering even more. And maybe you don't want to be that person. Then you have to be honest for yourself and really, really ask yourself, do I want to handle, and am I able to handle this pain that this person is going through? Am I willing to be patient enough to be with them through this process? And if you realize that yes, this person is really dear to you and you want to be close to them, you want them in your life, then this is the role that you need to take on. You need to support them and encourage them and be very, very patient with them while they are going through this struggle. And you need to encourage them to move through it and heal. And you could be that positive experience that will actually allow them to heal. And again, if you are the one fighting this, then that is the type of relationship you need to be in. You need to be in the presence of a healing and very respectful energy, so that you can convince yourself that those thoughts are not true, and you can trust other people. You can be vulnerable. You can be open to love. And indeed, if you are both going through some healing process or being resistant towards each other or your relationship because of that, then it's a bit more difficult, because there is a possibility that you are not the most reliable partner in the world. And then you need to kind of figure out how to make it work. But what else is going on here is that I think that what you really need to take in from this message is that it requires some time. And here you have the Eight of Scepters. The astrological sign is Mercury in Sagittarius. And this is a very swift energy and very purposeful, intentional, goal-oriented movement. And you also have the Breathe, the oracle message. And I think that this is that conflict that could be going on here. Because if you rush things, and if you push the other person, or if you are pushed by the other person, then it actually could make things worse, because it could trigger you just a little bit too much, to the point where you are not really ready or equipped enough to handle that, and that could trigger this fight response. And you could adopt the mindset and attitude of this Eight of Scepters, and you could have this Mercury in Sagittarius mentality, but then it's not towards establishing a connection with the other person, but it's more about fighting them off and protecting yourself. It's like, okay, so you are attacking me or pushing me, and I don't want that, so I will be even more aggressive towards you. And the interaction could be very superficial between you. Maybe you don't even touch upon those deepest, darkest, more hurtful places. You just stay on that superficial level of communication, and you may have a lot of fun together, a lot of jokes together, but then it doesn't feel quite real at the end of the day. There is something missing, like a very important element of this relationship is hidden, and it's not even revealed, it's not even brought up between you. So you could have this superficial, mundane communication and interaction, but actually it masks this wound, this fear underneath. So again, general reading, it could mean different things to different people in different occasions, but that is exactly why you need to breathe and give it some time. Let yourself calm down and let you kind of get used to this person and your interaction. And then when time goes on and when you feel more and more relaxed in their presence, or you are the one who let them relax in your presence, you can start to go deeper and deeper and establish a more meaningful connection between you. Because we also have runes here, and you have the Feihu and also Awaz, and the combination of those two runes well, this is the rune of finances and money and property, basically. So in this case, I think it is about that protection, what I own, what is mine, what I can trust. And it could be that emotional, basically, that emotional baggage, that emotional property that we all carry with us. And we just sometimes don't want other people to get near to that. We just want to have it deep within because we don't know whether we can trust the other person enough. And this other rune, it shows this difficulty, that there is this push and pull, and you need to really deal with that. And yes, this is moving somewhere, and healing is possible here. But you need to basically give it some time and effort. And so the patience and this ability to be very mindful about that and really relaxed into the situation is very important here. So I don't see that you are living together happily ever after, at least not at this point, because indeed there is something deeper, like something deeper is going on, this baggage that you are, one of you or even both of you are carrying with you, and it's so deep and so unpleasant and painful that then it is very hard to deal with that. And maybe one of you or even both of you, you don't even want to deal with that yet. So this is your message, group number 3, and you can still use the influence of this other person to either move through this process yourself or help them do that. But again, remember, patience and mindfulness is very important here, because this is pretty deep and pretty unpleasant, and you need some time to deal with that. And also you need that strength and inner motivation to deal with that. Okay, so this is what I see for you. I hope that this message clarified some things up for you, and I'll talk to you soon in my next video. Bye bye. Hello, group number 4. So this is your message if you picked the 4th pile of cards. Let's see what you have going on. So you have the 5 of Scepters, or the 5 of Wands, also the Ace of Scepters, or the Ace of Wands in the traditional tarot, the Outsider, Healing, and Exchanging Gifts. So when it comes to your love interest, I think that what is very, very strongly coming at me right now is this Ace of Scepters, and also the one of the runes. So you have the Dagas rune, and they feel very, very similar to me, and this is about that strong attraction and passion and falling in love. So whenever I see this Ace of Scepters in a love-related reading or tarot message, I think, okay, there is this very strong attraction. It is like you have this person on your mind all the time, and you cannot help yourself but think about them all the time. So, and you kind of lose your senses, and you cannot think rationally anymore because you are all fired up by them. Or, since this is a general reading, please keep that in mind, it could go both ways. So it could be that this person is very strongly attracted to you, and the Daga's rune is it's the day, basically. So it is that new dawn, and you will just feel excitement for the new day ahead. And this is how that person makes you feel, or how you make this person feel. So, and that has caused some trouble for you, or both of you, or one of you, because things are not as straightforward as you would like to. It's not that you meet each other, fall in love with each other, and then you get married and live together till death do you apart. So this is not the case, unfortunately. And now I'm drawn to these two cards, the Five of Scepters and the Outsider, or the Five of Rainbows. And you see also what is interesting about the artwork here is that this is the Ace of Scepters, and here in this card, that woman or girl, she's actually holding that scepter and kind of protecting herself, trying to protect herself from this beast here that's about to attack her. So even though you feel that attraction for this person, they are also bringing forth some resistance and some negative feelings within you. Or again, maybe this is how you affect them, and this is how you trigger them. But something is being triggered in one of you, or even both of you. And then you have this outsider, the Five of Rainbows. And by having this card here, I do have a feeling that you don't truly believe in love. You don't believe that you deserve love, or that true love is even possible to you. And that could be that beast or demon that you are currently trying to fight. What this love makes you fight against, because you are falling in love on one hand, but then on the other hand, it triggers this belief, but I'm not deserving of love. What I've experienced is that I'm being left out of love, of all the good things in life. I'm the outsider. What can I even expect? This person will be just another piece of evidence in this tall pile of past relationships that just didn't work, or all those incidents or occasions when things just didn't work out for me. And I know it will happen, because that is what normally happens to me. So I resist that. I don't want to have that belief. I want to believe in this relationship, but how can I deny that this is true, because this has always been true. So again, this internal struggle, this internal conflict, and the dissonance that is felt by simply falling for this person. Again, maybe that is how you make them feel, and that could explain their behavior, why they are behaving the way they do towards you. And that is causing a major problem for you, a major inner problem that needs to be solved in some way. Because I think that what it really points towards is, well, your other rune is the algaes reversed. And this is kind of losing that protection from the divine, from the gods, from basically the universe. You feel that the universe is simply not on your side. But as I said, it goes really, really deep. Maybe those are the influences from your early experiences in childhood. But that belief is so deeply engraved within you that you just don't deserve that universal love. You are kind of this outsider, and it is really being triggered here for you right now, or the other person, as I said, general reading. But the opportunity for you here and the potential for you here is absolutely beautiful, and it is healing. And your relationship or your interaction is actually a gift from the universe itself to make you see and to make you learn that you are in fact lovable, you are deserving of love, and that this rune is actually upright. It could be upright if only you let it be, if only you heal your past traumas and not resist your beasts and demons, but make friends with them. And this is that very, very beautiful and wonderful outcome that you can achieve through this love interest. It doesn't say much about your future together, whether you will be in an established long-term relationship or whether this is just a short-term influence when you pass each other by and touch each other very deeply and then you move on and meet other people. But the opportunity here for both of you, for you or for them, is to achieve that state of healing. And that is how you should treat each other. If they are the ones who are suffering this and who are triggered, then this is how you approach them and how you treat them. You treat them with love, you give them time, you are patient with them, and you are there for them. You make that commitment. That is the gift you give to them. Your presence, your unconditional presence with them, and you treat them as though they are the most important thing at the moment when you interact with them in the world. And the more you let them experience that, the more they can move towards the state of healing. Because they will find a way to trust, and you could be that person that lets them do that. Of course, that's a huge responsibility, and you need to be honest with yourself whether you can even do that. But if the answer is yes, and you are willing to be this person for them, then this is what you need to know about them, and this is how you should treat them. But if you are the one in need of healing, then maybe this person is approaching you from this place, from this loving and very unconditional place where they just want to be with you and they want to gift their presence and energy and their time for you. And you should not be resisting that. You should not be living in fear that they will leave you anyways and that you will be hurt again and you will simply receive another approval for this, that you are in fact not loved by the universe and that you are in fact an outsider, that this will be another thing that will make you feel like that. And even though there are no guarantees, and as I said, there is nothing about your future together. Maybe this person will exit your life at some point in the future. Maybe it's very, very soon. But I do have a feeling that once you interact with each other, once you are in this connection, like when you are enjoying each other's presence and you have all those emotions, this cocktail of emotions and hormones and whatnot going on, then that is your opportunity to enter the state of healing and start to work with your issues. Don't put expectations on your future together. Don't place those heavy expectations and responsibility on that other person to heal you and to be responsible for your healing, because they are not responsible for your healing. Only you are. But nevertheless, you can be perceiving them as a gift, and you could be thinking about what to give them back rather than approaching your interaction from a selfish perspective oh, I need to protect myself, they will hurt me, so I need to kind of stay away from them, and I should not be giving it my all whenever I'm with them. Instead of having that perspective on this relationship, you could also be giving them something unconditionally without expecting anything in return. And that is how you shift your energy, and that is how you heal. At least that is how you set yourself up for healing. And you can indeed start a new chapter in your life just by doing that. Whether it is with this person or with somebody else, it is still a new chapter for you when those gates are finally open and those beautiful colors and lights are a part of your life. So this is the message for you, group number 4. I truly hope that it resonated with you and that you found it helpful. And I'll talk to you soon in my next video. Bye bye. Hi there, group number 5. I'm so glad to see you back. And this is your reading if you picked the last pile of cards. So, what's going on for you relative to your love interest? You have the Two of Scepters, or it's the Two of Wands in the traditional tarot, the Hanged Man, you have the Playfulness, Totality, and you were the group that got 2 oracle cards because they just fell out as I was shuffling, so I decided to keep both of them. And so you have the Message in the Bottle and To Be Fair. Okay, so what do you need to know about your love interest? Okay, so I do have a feeling that you are pretty excited by each other or by this relationship. And yes, what I want to mention is that this is a general reading, so do keep in mind that those messages could go both ways. So it could be about you, it could be about the other person, it could be something that is common for both of you guys. So keep that in mind as you are taking this message in. But it does feel that you are pretty excited by each other because you have the Two of Scepters and you have this playfulness. And the Two of Scepters is, well, the astrological sign for this card is Mars in Aries. So this is a very goal-oriented and direct energy that is basically hitting you. Either you are pursuing this person or they are pursuing you, but it is like there is no doubt that chase is going on and that pursuit is on fire with the Two of Scepters. And also the playfulness. So there's a lot of fun that's going with it, and you are playful with each other. Maybe you have some wonderful time together. You are able to laugh and enjoy each other, and life feels so light and uplifting. And also the Totality card, it kind of goes along those lines for me. It's energetically feels pretty similar. It's like you are putting everything in this relationship or in the potential of this relationship, or maybe this other person is doing that. They are pursuing you and nothing else, and they are super focused on that, and that is precisely how they bring that fun and enjoyment and delight in your life, how that playfulness comes about. And then on top of that all, you have this rune, the Ehwaz, which is the horse. Basically it indicates movement, and you could be making some plans already, and you could be even like traveling physically, and there is indeed a lot going on. You could be in that phase of relationship when you are really in love with each other, and you are spending as much time as you can together. You want to be in each other's presence as much as you can. And so you make plans together, you go to places, you want to have fun together and experience different things together. Or if one of you is the chaser, then this shows your commitment and really reaching for them and going for them, being very purposeful, and really that Mars in Aries energy, which is okay, I want that and I'm getting that. No matter what, I will do whatever it takes to get that. So yes, this is all going on, but there is something else that you should know, and you should not lose yourself into this, whatever is going on here, this drive, this motivation, this commitment, this passion that's all there. Please don't lose your head and your senses in that. Whether you are the chaser or pursuer, or the one being chased or pursued, or maybe you are both chasing each other and you are both striving towards each other, because you also have all this going on. And the Hanged Man, well, this is all the way a completely different energy, because it shows that there is actually things that you are not considering. And the Hanged Man speaks about your ego versus your ability to sacrifice. So it brought up those serious revelations and insights that you need to go through relative to this relationship. And I do have a feeling that this energy is so strong that you either don't pay attention to those signals that you may be receiving, or you are not aware of that yet. Or something else is preventing you from really seeing this whole other side. But basically the Hanged Man here is showing that you are kind of wasting your energy and your life force in a way, because all this red color, this passion, this energy, this life, if you take a deeper look at this card, you can see that it is kind of pouring out of this person. So you are really investing a lot of your energy into this relationship, but you must ask yourself, is it really worth it? Can I really put my hopes on this other person and that they will be with me in a way that my expectations are currently being formed towards them? And if you are the chaser, this is the question you have to ask yourself. Will you be able to commit to this person even after the initial excitement is gone? Because it will be gone at some point. It won't stay there forever. So you need to think about what could you do to that person if your answer is no, I just want to conquer them and then I want to move on to something else. But how it will make that person feel and what will happen to them. The Hanged Man is asking you to think about that very, very carefully. Because, look, you also have this to be fair card, the message from the Oracle. And also, interestingly enough, you have this rune, which is the rune of secrets. And this rune is reversed. So one of you is not being honest, not being fair. And it is something that either you are keeping from this person, or they are not disclosing something to you. There is some kind of a secret there. you are not thinking seriously enough about your relationship. And your other message from the oracle is message in the bottle. So something is being, something is in that bottle. That secret is in the bottle, and I do believe that it has to do with your deeper intention. And maybe you are not even fair to yourself. Maybe it's even hard for you to be honest to yourself and say that, indeed, I don't want this relationship to last for long. I just want that excitement and that fun I have with this person. But then I don't want them anymore. I don't want to deal with them when life gets tough, when life gets harsh. I don't want to share the difficulties with them. I just want to share the positive moments, the fun moments, but not the rest of the life. So if you are the chaser, so this is that honest conversation that you need to have with yourself, the first and foremost. Maybe you don't even know that yourself. So do examine yourself very carefully, because this other person deserves to be treated fairly. They deserve that. And you need to tell them, you need to reveal them your deepest intentions towards them, because yes, indeed, you will be sacrificing your joy and playfulness, but that's your lesson here. That's how you grow and mature and become a more developed and better version of yourself. Or if you are on a receiving end, basically, if this other person, if your love interest is chasing you, and you feel excited about that, then this could be their hidden part, the secret that they are keeping, and you should be very careful about trusting them and making plans with them for the future, or having expectations that you have a future together, because in fact they could have this conversation with themselves and they could realize that, no, I don't want anything past this. If this is over, we are done as well. So that is a good possibility for this interaction that's currently going on between you. And you need to take that into account. And if you can take it and it's fine and okay with you, then go ahead and enjoy yourself, enjoy that love affair that you have. And when it's over, you move on and no strings attached, and everything's fine and everybody's happy. If you can do that, perfect. Do that. Go ahead. Have fun. But if you feel that you cannot, that you want some commitment and you want to have something more serious, then be very careful about how far you will let that person go, how far you will let yourself go. So be fair. That's the main message, the key word for this whole reading. Be fair towards yourself and towards the other person. Okay, so this is my message to you, group number 5. I hope that you found it helpful, and I hope that you will be fair and you will treat the other person respectfully and also yourself. And I'll talk to you soon in my next video. Bye bye.